Let's talk about community-supported agriculture, or the CSA model. Every CSA model shares a few of the same big differences. First, how are you going to sell your products? Are you going to sell them annually, once a week, every week, or once a month, every month? Or are you going to sell them seasonally? Maybe once a week every 3 months, or once a month every 3 months, every 6 months, every 9 months, whatever your season is. That's for you to decide. And then how are you going to take payments? Maybe you want them in one lump sum. But for some customers, that may be too much. It might break the bank. You may want to consider multiple payments. Maybe one this month, one next month, one this week, one in 2 weeks, multiple months, multiple weeks. It might be easier on your customers. And we'll talk about the payments a little more in a few slides. Let's take a look at some of the pros and the cons of the different payment types. Here come the pros first. For the lump sum method, you're going to get your money all at once. And another for the lump sum, there aren't any worries if more money or payments are coming. For the multi-payment method, it may be easier on your consumer. And for the multi-payment method, there are several different websites that can be used to set up auto withdrawal and deposit for your customer. Now let's look at some of the cons. For the lump sum payment, this lump sum may be too large for some of your customers, and you may knock them right out. Also, the large dollar amount may look scary, and some people may just walk right on by that would have loved to be your customers. For the multi-payment method, you're going to have to worry about receiving additional payments and making sure you keep in contact with those customers and stay on top of them. Also, for the multi-payment method, the customers have to remember to give you the additional payments. Now, this can be mitigated by setting up that auto withdrawal and deposit. During my research, I've looked at CSA models from all over the United States and a few from around the world, and these appear to be the most common ones, and I'm so excited to share them with you. The first is the traditional box model. Then we've got the market style model, the buy down model, the full diet model, the distributor model, the donor model or swap model, the recipe model, the BSGO model, the farmer's helper model. Now let's take a look at them. Here we see the traditional box model, and I think the majority of small farms are going to be used to this version. Usually your memberships are sold in a single or a family style version, and it can be delivered directly to the members at home or at work. Now when you do deliver it to work, you can see as many memberships as 50 to 100 in one single place, which is really cost effective for the small farms. And the products sold in these packages are usually seasonal and oftentimes chosen by the farmer. But I'd like to caution you in this case that when you're choosing your products, the most successful CSAs in the traditional box model that I have seen will ask their members for feedback on the product selection. I saw one small farm that chose broccoli and Brussels sprouts, and because of the season, had an entire month where the only thing in the box was broccoli and Brussels sprouts, and because of that, they lost a significant portion of their membership the next year. So remember, get feedback from your customers, know what they'd like to see, and let them know what's going on in your season. It helps keep your membership up, it lets people know that you care about them, and keep their relationship strong. The market style model is based solely on the farm having some kind of marketplace. So memberships I generally see are single memberships, but I have seen a very few family members. Farmers who participate must have, as I said, a farmer's market stand or an on-farm store of some kind. And members will receive a set amount of money each week. So they pay either the lump sum or the multiple payments up front, and then that's divvied out over each week of the season towards the purchase of products, and they get to select their own. So instead of receiving a box like the box model, they'll get to pick out to fill their box or bag at the market stand. And this is perfect for the extraordinary type of markets, like flowers or cheeses, charcuterie, any of those extraordinary things. I saw one particularly awesome flower stand where a person could purchase a flower basket per se, and then every week they would go and pick their beautiful bouquet to have for the entire week to enjoy. So that was pretty successful, and it was really a wonderful idea. This is the buy down model, and the state of Maine has something sort of similar to this, where they give seniors $50 and they're allowed to spend it down over the season at a farmer's market. Although the buy down model is for an individual farm who has a farm stand or a farmer's market, and they give their customer or their farm member who pays up a lump sum a percentage over that lump sum in increase to spend over their season. So let's say your customer gives you $100 and you've deemed that you can do a 20% increase on that money. Now your customer has $120 to spend with you, and they spend it down over your entire season in your farmer's market or farmer's store. Now the only caveat to this buy down model is that you must have a plan in place for what's going to happen to any money left over at the end of the season, because you don't want to be caught in a tight spot if all of your customers or half of your customers have money left and they are demanding refunds. Just know what's going to happen and have a plan in place before you start this model. The full diet model is generally only offered in the single membership model, which is like a couple. But I have seen some farms doing it by the person so that couples could add their kids and still have a full meal. And you should consider customizing this: vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free, egg-free, dairy-free. I've seen a few farms that were catering it to several other allergens as well. And this model is designed to be a meal box option for the busy person to use farm fresh ingredients. But don't limit yourself to a box. Think outside, bags, and other packaging as well. And farmers may need to supplement these bags and boxes with products from other farms and maybe even the grocery store in order to meet a full meal for your customer. And you may not be providing just one meal. You may be providing breakfast, lunch, dinner for more than one day a week. And this model is great to turn into a delivery. Think about taking it to places of work, to people's homes. You may even be using the mail to deliver these items. The distributor model can be tricky. The membership is like a lot of the other members, where you still have a single or family membership model, but the CSA incorporates multiple farms into the model. And the CSA can be run by one of the member farms or totally separate business. Oftentimes I've seen this done by a co-op or a nonprofit. And this is a great model to couple with several of the other models so that the customers would get meat, vegetables, fruits, herbs, sometimes even flowers out of the mix. And one farm doesn't bear the burden of everything. Oftentimes, though, the challenge is the distribution of funds to the individual farms. This is the donor or swap model, and I hate to be biased, but this is one of my favorites. The membership can be single or family, and the products are kept in individual packaging for either the family size or the single size. And the members can pick from the baskets which ones they would like to keep, and any that they don't pick, say they don't want broccoli this week, that package size of broccoli goes into a basket at the end, which is either your swap basket or your donate basket. Now let's say you've chosen the swap model. When you choose this model, you're going to have extra items in the basket at the end, say maybe 10 or 15 extra items. And when they put that broccoli into the basket at the end, they're going to be able to pick something else out of that basket in its place. Let's say this week you had tomatoes and maybe grapes. They're going to place the broccoli in the basket and pick out an extra portion of grapes in place of the broccoli. And the next person, maybe they wanted 2 broccoli and they put the grapes into the basket. They're able to take the broccoli out in place of the grapes that they picked in. Now, if you did the donate version of this model, the person would put the broccoli in, but they would take nothing out of the basket, knowing that what they donated to the donate basket and did not take themselves would go to wherever you had deemed to donate. Lots of people who use the donate version of this model will donate to a charity, say a local church or a food pantry in their area. So anyone who doesn't come and pick up their share that week in the donor model will donate their entire share to the pantry. Now in the swap version of this, any members who stick around till the end of the pickup are able to purchase any items left in the swap basket for half price. So half of what they would normally cost at your market, they're able to purchase them for that, which a lot of families really enjoy. This is the recipe model, and it's kind of an adaptation on the box model. You're going to have your single or your family membership, and each week in the box or the bag, the members are going to be given a recipe card featuring recipes using the ingredients in the basket, box, or bag. And some of the farms I've seen using this technique also are publishing YouTube videos where the farmers are creating the recipes that they've given the members. Now, the members may be encouraged at pickup to purchase additional items needed to fill the recipes. Why the farms are doing this with the additional items is because they do not have enough of whatever the item is to fill every single basket. Sometimes this is like they want to do basil pesto, but they didn't have enough basil for everybody, and maybe not everybody likes pesto or basil. So they might have different versions of the pesto in the recipe, and perhaps they have basil available or parsley available or several other different pesto versions, and the individuals could purchase those different herbs. So consider this one if you're doing the box model and you'd like to just add something else to it. You could combine these two, and it's great for delivery just to put the recipe and not add on the purchasable additional ingredients. The BSGO model, or the buy one, give one model, can generally be seen in the single or the family shares, and it's most often associated with nonprofits or church faith-based farms. And the one member purchases a share for himself or herself, and then the second share is usually donated. Although I have sometimes seen the member purchase a share for himself or herself, and then the second share is given to one of the member's children. Now, the donated shares usually go to homeless shelters, needy families, seniors, children in the community, or if it's associated with a church, sometimes the church designates individuals in the church as being in need. Now, this model can also be turned into a delivery model where the farm will deliver the donated shares to wherever they've been designated to go. The Farmer's Helper model is a great way for farmers to build a relationship with the community, but it's also excellent for farmers who may be disabled and need additional help. The members generally buy a single or a family membership in this model, and in exchange for a portion off of the CSA share or access to a pick-your-own-field, the member will go to the farm to help. And this can include anything from picking rocks out of the field to hoeing or shoveling, or even picking the crops. Now, farmers may encourage members to earn credits for the next year by coming out in the fall. Now to determine which CSA model is best for you. Is your product annual? Is it seasonal? Do you need that lump sum payment, or can you take payments over several weeks or several months? Do you want to work with other farms? Do you want to deliver the products directly to your customers, or do you need your customers to come to you? Do you want to do membership for an individual person, for couples, for families, or do you want to mix it up? Do you sell extraordinary products? Do you have must-have markets? Do you have a farm stand or go to farmers markets? All of these questions are things you need to consider. So look at the chart below and look at the areas that are highlighted. You may want to consider coupling some of the models, like the box model and the recipe model, or maybe the full diet model and the recipe model. Each of the models is individual, some of them are unique, and some of them can be coupled to help you come up with the best plan that's just right for you. I hope you've enjoyed the first of many educational videos to come from Green Bean Saves. Please subscribe and like, and share this with all of your small farm friends who may need to learn more about CSAs. We've partnered with the United Farmer Veterans of Maine to help bring educational programs to many of its members all across the state of Maine. If you'd like to donate to educational programs for UFV of me, you can scan the QR code right here on this screen and send any amount to the program. Green Bean Saves is happy to be working with them. We look forward to giving you more educational programs in the future. Stick with our channel and see what we